TT's allowed to disengage and reset, really favor what they can do in these elongated poke scenarios. And if they're able to walk into spaces already having a range advantage, because Oriana's for free. The Lee Sin needs to make some things happen earlier on. As currently Keshi down
Thinking
flash.
about top lane again. Oh, Burdol's dead. That's just,
yep.
He expends the flash a little early, and there he goes. Down for first blood. And it's a nice play again. Junhao showing up in the top lane, but this time not defensively, offensively.
Might be on, walking into the trap that Chris was laid for a long time. Oh.
Chris has been sitting here for ages, and that is gonna...
Currently both supports are winning out on the War of Patience.
Gonna get dove. Will survive? No.
Just the Fury things.
Cross forward from Chris. Nice flash out of Keshi as well. He just got that back up as well. LGD gonna come up hands empty then. Which are fine. Remember, Void Grub's picked up for ThunderTalk, meaning that they can get a lot of value out of solo time for Keshi. With Burdol having recalled and come back up top lane, now a teleport bot, ThunderTalk have the numbers advantage in this fight. Will they actually get into hit in time? Junhao does not get the smite, and Chris goes on the counter engage. It's a big equalizer and an even bigger petrifying gaze from Tangyuan to shut that play down. ThunderTalk are gonna lose 3 and the dragon.
Oh, Chris, what an engage from you. He goes down, but boy, oh boy, did he set the table for his team. A beautiful 4-man Rel combo to get the party started for LGD, and the follow-up, the Wombo combo they drafted for, it rang true.
That's exactly what we were hoping for in the pregame as well. It comes down to this Lee Sin versus the Rel. Junhao versus Crisp. In terms of who's able to set up better, who is able to be the bigger value for their team. In this moment, Crisp certainly wins that duel on not winning this one, unfortunately. Tangyuan gonna sink his fangs into the Ziggs one final time, and maybe actually pick up another kill on Feather, as Crisp was here just in time to find a lot of CC and a lot of damage being laid out by Tangyuan for a double kill. ThunderTalk considering a dive right now, but Heng is here. Rift Herald actually going to be channeled in the bot lane, where the Equalizer is expended to clear out the wave. Nonetheless, the first tower in the bot lane will fall to favor of ThunderTalk. Well, the Rift Herald gets driven away. The escape vehicle for Heng gonna have to do after his top laner's unfortunate demise. Should be able to get a crash in the mid lane here, as ThunderTalk are moving up the river. Doesn't even... Please tell me they get this tower.
Shaoye,
please kill this tower.
Wasn't met. All right. As TT waits for this objective set up, and that objective's dead. Goal point secured for LGD, and TT going to be threatened on the exit.
Heng's got the satchel charge, but isn't going to use it against the turret. Not quite low enough, and much more important for his escape, if that even comes to pass. Heng has identified that this lonely Ziggs is right for the picking, and On does in fact get picked off. Remember, no mid lane tower here for ThunderTalk, so the rest of LGD are going to keep following up on this, but with Equalizer expended, with not a whole lot of ults left, LGD counter-engaging or even engaging herself effectively. There's a lot of weight on his shoulders, not a whole lot of help. Even from Junhao, who on his Lee Sin does have a lot more to do, but tries to do it just then and gets shut down with extraordinary prejudice. Rumble, it's going to come in for LGD to continue punishing that by picking off On once again.
Something we were going to bring up when it comes to LGD. It's a little bit late in game one, but oh, hold on. Chris has other thoughts. Heru does get out.
Onto Feather does give Feather the opportunity to use his cooldowns on Crisp, though, and that is in a way what we were asking for earlier. Unfortunately, with Feather now dead, he can no longer do that. So Junhao's got to do it instead. Taken out, finally. Crisp, will it be worth the cost? LGD recognize that there is nothing left for ThunderTalk. And with 3 members already dead, Tangyuan gonna chase down the jungler, while Keshi gets melted at the hands of LGD.
Well, we came into the day, Tia, thinking that LGD, even though the records are tied, we felt like LGD, stronger team, had better recent performances. And then I like TT's draft better. It was like, ooh, they got a real chance in this game 1. And LGD said, no, you don't. As, oh, the Q at the feet was nice there. Yeah, that is more steps in the right direction for winning this game, as Burdol might have to get chased.
I can't tell if he has flash because of a Durex commercial. He doesn't. And that means he's got no protection.
Sayonara. Loss of life in the top lane.
Not even a chuckle for my Durex protection line.
I just fell. You know, it was there. It was there.
Not quite hitting. Not quite hitting.
We didn't.
That's
no, it
fault.
hit. I mean, there is that. I think my concern with the pizza is. Hold on.
Couldn't possibly do it. The magnets also might be a problem. But
that's what I was going to bring up. The radiation for the pizza. And now the poison.
Ooh! And once again, we hit the petrifying gaze into the Rumble ult, which actually, now that it wasn't in the river, does make me feel a little bit better about the whole pizza thing. Although you've brought up a good point. The poison pizza doesn't really sound as delicious.
Radiation,
it does sound, you know,
radiation and poison.
Yeah, where are we getting radiation?
The magnet.
I see a. Oh, I'm gonna sound really stupid when I say this. Are magnets?
I'm just thinking outside the box.
Am I?
No, they aren't. But Chris' play has been radioactive. It was a masturbate because this ground in the double petrifying gaze was good enough to secure LGD the Baron as we get out. It is, but that's okay. That's part of why going to the beach is fun. You know, sometimes you get to meet new people, and also it's beautiful weather. And a beautiful event. But hey, that said, it's 15 seconds before Elder, and LGD has TT pinched before they can even get to the river.
Yeah, ThunderTalk really wanted to look at the water one last time, but I don't know if they'll get to. That is an exploded Iron Horse.
Killed the jungler.
And LGD now in a 4v5 may in fact have to let ThunderTalk see the water. This game had seemed so far gone for so long before.
Yeah, Ocean Soul is so valuable, though, against Ziggs, Orianna, Jace, of all the problems that we were talking about. Chris gets a lot of damage, but now he can just walk back, let Ocean Soul do its work, and kind of, you know, take away something that was very good in TT's comp, or at least try and neutralize it over time. As, yeah, here come the Ocean Soul ticks coming in.
Crisp has Flash, and if Crisp uses Flash at the right time, this game ends right now.
I agree. Well, not right now, but when the right time is, of which Chris decides, and which he is approaching. As he's hiding himself back there.
In the pit he comes. I like the positioning for the moment. Burdol's ready with the equalizer as well. It's just up to Crisp to pick his moment, but Burdol chooses it for him. Laying out the equalizer, taking away a lot of the power that LGD had, but earning them some crucial space in the river. ThunderTalk have managed to see the river once again. It's an important headway as Feather goes on the engaging. Crisp counter-engages. Burdol going golden. Feather isolated, and he may go down. Heru not quite able to follow him up, but everybody miraculously staying alive as the dragon resets. We've been getting a nice picture-in-picture in the meantime. Worth noting, LGD's wave states have been much better. They've pressured these turrets remarkably, but now they've lost control of the Elder Dragon.
Oh, Feather just threw a hook into the dragon. It's going to keep Shaoye alive, and I think Ocean Soul is starting to do some work for LGD here as TT's low.
Shaoye flashing in, secures the kill on Feather, and Tangyuan with the Omega flank is going to finish this fight as quickly as it began. 34 minutes into the game, the Elder Dragon still alive. LGD accomplished their major objective, wiping ThunderTalk off the face of Summoner's Rift and moving in for the end of the game.
You know what? That was kind of a nice clinic for LG at the end of here's what Ocean Soul can do, as it took away really the best part of TT's comp, which was their poke. They weren't able to control the terrain because they were behind, and then the poke didn't matter. Ocean Soul existed for LGD. Good game one from them as they find the win. B. You know, they also gave everyone a speed boost on the side of TT. So not only are you going to be having all the get here in time to contest, and I like this fight for LGD.
Might is back up for Junhao. It's taken long enough. ThunderTalk are going to get this necessarily in terms of big power spikes off of their abilities, but because now they really can be anywhere. And Junhao gives us just that by showing up in the bot lane, taking Shaoye low, and ultimately securing first blood at 7 minutes.
Well played, TT. First global being used to success as they take the Varus off the map and gonna get on ahead. Meanwhile, Burdol pops ult against Keshi.
Kills him? Predicts
Yep.
the flash. My
Yep.
goat. Keshi just needs to take one wayward step to be in serious danger of losing his life. Positioning pretty safely for right now, but he takes that one step, and Heng, with ultimate, can just show up in this top lane and obliterate him. Not necessarily going to need to use it, but will commit now that the Stand United comes through. Keshi still low underneath the tower with the charm missing. Tangyuan will pick up the kill. Heru shows up just in time to maybe die. Takes one last bit of damage from Tangyuan, manages to survive, gives Feather up for it, and Crisp comes in to lock down the kill. Tangyuan picks up 2. LGD look to be walking away the victors, and they will gladly give Crisp away for it.
Yeah, I mean,
like
yeah, that's not what TT were looking for, and LGD pressure is going to resume.
Now nobody can be here. Feather has to walk. I don't know, like it should. There we go.
Like someone who's late to something.
Exactly.
And feels embarrassed about it.
Look, Heru's got to walk too, man.
You know, their means of transportation are down for the day. That's one of those days.
There's Keshi, unfortunately. Heru, the next to be focused, does end up popping Ghost, but Vi does not mind that one bit. Flash from Crisp to secure the stun as well. Surely Heru dies here, and he will indeed. He's not the only one either, with Keshi having joined him just
to ensure that that cease and desist connects on the target and doesn't get eaten by the spell shield. As Crisp ran past control ward.
Not gonna have too good of a time, but Tangyuan having it a little bit worse. Stuck in the pit, has to flash away and right on top of him. Will help finish off the Ahri. This is still 1-for-1 at the moment. No jungler for ThunderTalk. They now have to win the fight in order to have a chance at this Rift Herald. And Keshi's got that on lock, helping take down Crisp. Picks up the kill. And ThunderTalk walk away 2-for-1.
The focus on the fight was on the Pantheon, and Junhao lived for too long. It pretty much enabled the trade with Tangyuan as... Okay, well managed. Look at the ult economy right now for ThunderTalk. Yeah, they have Grand Starfall, and they have Sivir ult, but nothing else. Vi already ult are up. So with a TP coming in from Tangyuan, yeah, I think they're going to play.
Could hit a juicy ult right now. Taking out Keshi is nice, but the Dragon does ultimately go to ThunderTalk. Now it's LGD's responsibility to use their ults and win the fight. On's going to use his to get his team the heck out of dodge. And with the Blast Cone as well, gets away from Tangyuan. 2 kills for Dragon, but that's
Going to be a trade of power. Keshi going to clean up this bot side as, yeah, see picture-in-picture on the bottom there. Stand United to use to get Burdol, as that's what got him low as we entered. LGD with the 3 grubs. They're going to trade out the bot outer for top.
been a boon to ThunderTalk on Marksman, and it's the one thing that you called for between the games to maybe help ThunderTalk reverse their fortunes. Got to keep up the high-level performance, though, and dodging the chain of corruption is one way to do it. They have started things off right by at least controlling a little bit of vision in the bot side. There's critically a ward behind the Dragon Pit that can be used by, say, someone like Keshi to join the fight and maybe start one advantageously. That's certainly going to work, however, as On getting assassinated is what LGD want. They're going to sacrifice Heng for it, but as Burdol shows up to the fight, a flash is forced out of Feather, and ThunderTalk all have to back away. Burdol getting CC'd to heck, but Keshi going back in with the public execution for the kill has turned the tides in the favor of ThunderTalk. Crisp going to be taken down as a double kill is going to go over to Junhao. Shaoye flashes over the wall, and Junhao follows him for the triple.
Triple kill for TT, and just like that, Dia, we have a series. A game that was close, one where TT has 3 dragons. They smashed the fight. They're going to get the soul. They have got the comp that scales, and despite their...
Yeah, Junhao kind of cooking in this fight. Might be cooking again. The Grand Starfall right in at me. ThunderTalk going to start up the Baron, knowing that they have the advantage, half health already, and LGD a little bit out of position with the teleport in. Baron will certainly fall to ThunderTalk. Can LGD win the ensuing fight? Do they even want it? There's a huge solar flare and Chains of Corruption connecting from LGD, but even so, their jungler gets absolutely destroyed. Heru picks up a double, probably going to pick up a triple, but ends up giving that over to Keshi. And it's not just the Baron that dies fast, it's all of LGD.
Empowered Root can't come down to stop. That one is on. Entrance into the fight from Keshi have just been well-timed, well-placed.
Make it 30 until this Elden Dragon spawns. We are going balls to the wall inside the enemy red. Out comes the Solar Flare, but even with that connecting onto 3 people, LGD don't look like they do any damage at all. ThunderTalk are just walking through them, and it doesn't appear that they care. Of course,
yeah, it's a DPS fight. That's going to be TT winning the fight. They remove 4. They're going to remove the Elder Dragon from this game, and on the back half, I saw that last kill from Keshi and just kind of assumed that he ran the fight again. Meanwhile, Feather
Elder
trying
Dragon
to run
picked
down.
up, by the way.
Yeah, it was. Goodbye, Jungler. We're going to 3, Dia.
Looks like we are.
Mm-hmm.
And if we're not, I do not see a way that you realistically stop ThunderTalk right now, which, admittedly, strength of the composition. Cybercomp, very good at running over you when they are just winning. Out comes the ult again, and that's 2 of them. With the Realm Warp to get you even more in the enemy's face. Shaoye gonna explode. Heru could take out Tangyuan as well. Doesn't have anybody really stopping him. Tangyuan has to flash into the fountain to survive. Let's get a little bit of healing. But ThunderTalk pick up the inhibitor and are looking for the end of the game. No questions asked and no holds barred. Burdol can't survive this. Can Heru? No, he cannot. Slammed down by Burdol. Picks him up. And that is the last good thing that LGD are going to be able to do this game, because it is over. ThunderTalk slam them in game 2 with a composition that is everywhere and simply does not die.
Congrats to TT. Find the win and make this series. It's going to decide who the 6th place team is in the LPL. A little bit more scatters, that can be big. But they have such a big opener to the fight with Kiana, Camille, and a Draven as well. I think the real question is, can LGD win fast enough? Because if this game does...
I'm not thinking that he had enough damage.
I think slow missing was the determiner. Yeah.
Flashboard from On.
That was ugly.
First blood goes to ThunderTalk.
Well, you know, it started off with the Pog for Chris in this series. We can remember the Rel game. This Draven Camille lane, I kind of assume this is a lane drafted to be a kill lane and be aggressive early, and they're about to be killed.
Stand aside was sick, but not quite sick enough. Heng gonna flash in. He's dead. There's no way he lives here. Wait a minute, Tangyuan's here, and Junhao could very easily be answered back. Heng gonna go low, but stay alive. And ultimately, 2 for 2. Not the worst. Heru comes and collects this kill, which he could.
Oh, yep. Flash through. Another blink. Reset. That's it. Double buffs. Transfer.
Ability to buy more items. He already had the Dark Seal that is benefiting from these kills. It's going to help out a lot. See whether there's any punish that comes into the mid lane as a result of this. Well, Burdol gets aggressive. Tangyuan getting aggressed on. Does scatter the weak, but Heru heals up through that, and Heng's a little bit late to the play. Shutdown going to go the way of Heru.
For the kill against Syndra, who was down flash. So, pretty nice there for ThunderTalk. As, oh, Burdol. Yep. Well played, GD, and what has been a bit of a bloody early game. I don't think it's the lead that LGD exactly wants, but...
Vision. ThunderTalk doing a good job of taking that away from him, and actually lets Junhao go for a play like this and impale right onto Crisp, which he promptly gets out of as we fan back up at the top lane, and Burdol has finished his meal underneath the tower. Keshi is gone, and that lets, theoretically, LGD have a better time of this dragon, but it's ThunderTalk that are starting it. It's ThunderTalk that are leashing it, and it may very well be ThunderTalk that win the smite fight for the dragon. Chris gonna go in onto On, giving up his life valiantly for the cause. The rest of LGD thinking they were gonna get away, but now there's TP in from Burdol to try and continue this fight. They'd really like a kill, especially if it's on Shaoye. The flash away, not enough to save On. Shaoye picks up a kill, flashes away from Heru, who really wants the booty. Ends up getting the booty before being shut down by Burdol. Tangyuan sniped out by Feather, and Burdol keeps on moving forward, seeing if he can shut down this bloodthirsty Melio. But the play, as funny and silly as it might have been, I think is over. You gotta know when you win. You gotta know when to push the advantage, even as a support. And he definitely knows that. Burdol.
Oh no.
Thought about winning this one. Probably doesn't at this point. It's actually
a second Melio kill? A second Melio kill. Feels like there's a little bit more priority from the LGD team and making sure that his lane is set up for success before he joins the fights.
I'm gonna make sure that you can still do.
I've got you, Dia. And we've got a play coming in on Heru.
We do. This is exactly what Crisp was made to do. Ult him and delete him. Heru does not survive the day, the night, wherever it may be for you. And it doesn't look like the Rift Herald will either, as that started up for LGD. But I was thinking about this earlier when you were talking about the other lower third. With the stats for our players. Stats for the team for LGD. Looking a little bit haunting, as this could be their 4th match where they win a single game and ultimately lose the other 2.
Yeah.
LGD not had the best series score recently, and maybe now's their time to turn that around. Unfortunately, the Rift Herald not going to go their way, and with Burdol having used his teleport, this fight does not seem like the time to do it. Junhao could, however, seal their fate. Tangyuan pushes him away. That does not save him ultimately. Junhao picks up the kill.
No wave.
Get the objective, channel it. They could dive Burdol here. They could do anything.
I think they might dive. They got Shaoye up. Goodbye,
no Mega
Burdol.
here either.
That was a much more effective Shaoye than the one that didn't crash. This Shaoye not only gets to crash, but also makes up an entire minion wave, so you get the dive too. That is one impressive Shaoye.
Will not get to crash again. No additional commitments, but Keshi surviving the Shaoye ult.
Scaling on the Jax, scaling on this corner. These are champions that's kind of tough for LGD's comp to deal with. They've started up this dragon. It's going to have another fight. Shaoye
forced to
gets out
away from Junhao. This Skarner, a beast of a frontline, goes for an impale, doesn't quite get it, but Heng, meanwhile, just sneaks away the dragon, putting LGD up 2-1 in terms of those neutrals. Heru gonna try and find Burdol here, gets Nard into the wall as the stun connects from Burdol. He's still got a flash away, as ThunderTalk have way too much damage for you to be gambling with.
Extra stout scale. Skarner Jax get really tanky. Locke is... His kit was built as an assassin that scales, because if assassins have issues with that, Heru gonna have issues. Burdol gonna have issues with Heru. Finds the kill and the reset on the ult. He's got to grab it still, but that's a nice chunk of change for the Locke there in the bot lane.
Get some alone time with this tower as well, which is certainly not going to hurt. Still plenty of time until next neutral objective comes up. We do technically have Baron around, but Baron is much, much too risky at this point in the game for either.
I mean, kind of running out of steam, and I think some of the interactions that we'll see them struggle with, again, just getting through the Skarner and then Draven being outranged and out-interacted with by elements of TT. Oh, lockdown.
Pretty tanky, but I guess when you have 4 people and a lot of alone time with him, that does not matter so much. Burdol comes in as well, Mega for now, but that'll quickly be expiring. And expiring just as the dragon comes up. A funny situation we've got. No tanks on LGD, no jungler for ThunderTalk, and Keshi eating a lot of damage as well. With Shaoye in, LGD feel confident enough to at least start up the dragon and really finish it. ThunderTalk still fishing for a fight.
No
They know that they've got an advantage. It's just tough to cash it in.
Yeah, no spine available for TT. I think that was once the Skarner falls, Dragon was going to be traded. The question was, could they answer?
The wall just gnarred away. In the top lane, things are going the way of ThunderTalk, as in the mid lane. The mid lane tier 1 finally falling. It looks like ThunderTalk have access to this Dragon. It is much more difficult to contest.
Yeah,
teleport in here. They're looking to finish the job.
Oh, Keshi might have a big angle. He hasn't been spotted yet. Skarner's collapsing.
That's a stun on Crisp. And that's the Camille support down. Burdol's on the flank, but Burdol is very, very far from Meganar. Has a shield to help him get there. The rest of LGD has got to be in position in time, but Burdol's just going to get in and start autoing away at the Dragon to get this form online. The rest of ThunderTalk still looking for their way in. Junhao Flash and Impale shuts down Shaoye, and everybody from ThunderTalk piles in onto the newly minted Meganar. While Heng is down, Burdol's the last one left standing, and even that is not for very long. A double kill picked up for Junhao, and the Dragon soon to be for ThunderTalk.
Yeah, and I think that's LGD's chance at winning this game, winning this series, kind of going into the wayside, as the scaling does not favor.
Entirely off the table. ThunderTalk are scaling. ThunderTalk are becoming scarier, and LGD are struggling for answers. Even now, trying to engage on the Keshi, they brought 4 people up. They've used, that's 1 ultimate, 2, third, to pick him off. So ThunderTalk now to disadvantage, a small ult advantage. But that's not going to mean much, as they very quickly have to use the culling to disengage effectively. LGD going to try and force the issue on the Baron.
Blast Cone not used by TT to get in. And Junhao's in the pit. This is going to be a flip. Burdol's down many.
He's sitting in the Baron's face.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what we wanted. I don't know what we were thinking. But LGD will have to think better of it in VOD review. That is not going to go too well for them as ThunderTalk pick up the Baron, and Heru shows up.
Yep.
Just in time to clean up the fight. That is a triple. That is a quadra kill for Heru. And they're thinking about giving him 1 more. Could be a pentakill for Heru. And the lock goes crazy 31 minutes into the game right after the Baron.
No, that was a Baron attempt and setup that I think was very deserving of an enemy team pentakill, as you were hinting at. Heru gets his third pentakill of the split. First one unlocked for the LPL. And what was a rather abysmal last-ditch attempt by LGD in a game where we felt like they got outscaled. They try and hit the Baron. Ends up being an enemy team pentakill, and that's a TT series win.
Abysmal is a great word for it. LGD will continue their 2-1 run, but not in the way that they wish it was.
Their 1-2 run.